Hey friends, I'm going to be hosting The Daily Show again this week, October 7th, 8th, and 9th, Tuesday through Thursday. And I want to take a quick second to say thank you, because the last time I hosted, my very first time, so many of you tuned in, you told people, T-vote if that's still a thing. So many people watched that we actually set a ratings record. And that was really, really special because I love Daily Show. I love all of you, and to be able to bring those two things together, to be able to set records your very first time doing something is special, but to do it with you was incredible. I look forward to bringing these Daily Show shows to you this week and the video, because you're already watching. You might as well keep watching. Just let it play. I'll see you.
Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I don't know if y'all seen, but people are losing their minds. People are losing their minds because Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. This is incredible. The level of upset. You ever see somebody get so mad that you're like, this is just weird? Like, not even, we're past like the levels of angry I expect you to get, and we're into a new realm where it knocks me out of even any sort of reactionary response. I'm more just like, are you okay? One time, I was at a McDonald's, right? And this dude, he must have wanted the pickles that come with the sandwich. They come with the sandwich. He got a hamburger, comes with a pickle. His hamburger didn't have a pickle. And I don't know what else was happening in his life. Maybe he usually handles disappointment very well. Maybe they caught him on the wrong day. Maybe they... You know what I mean? Maybe this man's been through a lot, and this is finally the thing that made him snap. This is possible. Everybody has their line. Everybody has their limit. And some people's limit, you wish that your limit would come when it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? You want your limit to come when something actually happens. You know? Like, you want your limit to come when it's like, maybe you've lost your job, you don't know what you're gonna do next, rent is due, and your dad is passed, and it's just all happening at one time, and then you lose it. That's when everybody would understand you losing it. But instead of losing it when you're supposed to lose it, some people stay strong. They don't let on that they're about to lose it. And so then they go to McDonald's. And they order a burger. And then they realize their burger doesn't have a pickle, and then all the injustice in the world comes out. All at once in this McDonald's. And so now you're screaming in front of a bunch of strangers because you don't have a pickle. And we all know that you don't have the pickle, not because you opened the sandwich to check, just in case you were like, hey, is the world fair today where there'll be a pickle on my sandwich? No, you know there's not a pickle because you ate half the sandwich and you haven't hit pickle yet. And so you finally open the sandwich, just give it a look. Be like, maybe this is a slippery one. Maybe this pickle's sneaky. You know, they supposed to put it on top of the cheese before the bun, maybe under the condiments, but maybe this one, oof. Maybe this one's sneaking in there between the meat and the cheese. Who knows, right? And then you open the sandwich, you realize you've had no pickle. You realize you've been looking forward to pickle this entire hamburger, and it was never gonna come. It was never gonna come. It was never gonna come, just like your job isn't coming back, just like... No, it's all coming back in real time. It's like the pickle is almost this unintentional metaphor, like the pickle is missing the way your father is missing in your life because he's gone now. And so you just start letting it all out. It just comes out. You start screaming at someone behind the counter who is 17. just someone who is beginning their life. Someone who has the whole world ahead. I mean, you used to have the whole world ahead of you as well. But then life happened and it came at you so fast you weren't sure what you were doing when you were doing it. And so now at home you have somebody that you're married to that like y'all are almost like strangers passing in the hallway, and you have 2 kids, but you don't really see yourself in them at all. And so now you wonder if maybe you were too hard on your dad and you wish you could tell him that, but he's gone. And so is the pickle. The pickle's not in there. The pickle is supposed to be here, right? And that's why you end up screaming at this 17-year-old at the top of your lungs to the point where people are recording you on their phone, which is never great. Your life never gets better after that. That's never the beginning of something wonderful. It means you're probably about to lose the next job before you even get it because you've lost your job and you're going to apply for more. You might even apply here. They won't hire you. But the next job you apply for, they're going to look this up. They're going to put your name in Google, and then this video will come up of you screaming at this 17-year-old that you accidentally called dad. And that's a tough part about not snapping at the right time. If you had snapped 15 minutes ago at home, everybody would get it. Somebody might even hug you. But now you're in McDonald's and they're just calling the police. No, it's tough. It's tough. What I'm trying to say is people have snapped over Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show, a no pickles in my hamburger at McDonald's amount. And it is stressful to watch. I understand why the NFL's doing. The NFL is trying to expand its reach and everything. What better way than with Bad Bunny? But Bad Bunny is over here, like he's defiant in a way that I think is very special. Because Bad Bunny is doing this like record-breaking tour right now. And he's not doing it in the US, you know? And I think a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people are like they're like, why won't he come? Why won't he do MSG? Why won't he? And it's like, and you know, he's been asked about it in interviews, and he said a couple things that also are gonna irk exactly who he's trying to irk. Because they asked him, like, why aren't you touring? We looked at the dates. Where's Chicago? Where's LA? Where's New York? You know? And why aren't you touring in the US? And then he said, because it's just not necessary. Not necessary to tour in the center of the universe, according to us. Not necessary. Ooh, that was a gut punch. Not necessary. Ooh. Don't worry, I'll be making plenty of money around the world. You know, the rest of the world. Like literally. And other people ask him, and he was like, hey, look, I don't do shows here right now because I don't need ICE hanging outside of my shows trying to do some sort of sting or something like that. I want my people to be safe and everything. In fact, if you want to see me bad enough, I'll be doing a bunch of shows in Puerto Rico. You can come to Puerto Rico. And plenty of people were like, Puerto Rico? Where's that? Because it's actually terrifying. It is like bone-chilling scary how many people who live in the U.S., like U.S. citizens, that don't know what land the U.S. has. It's like, I don't know what civics class or what, is it just geography? How are we failing the youth and the elderly. Like, it's like, because it's not like you can just blame it on the kids. Grown people also don't know. This is crazy. All right, look, just bring you up to speed, okay? Real quick. And I'm not judging anybody, because I might even have the dates wrong, okay? But in 1898, at the end of the Spanish-American War, America got Puerto Rico. So already, territory, Puerto Rico, right? 1917, Puerto Ricans gained U.S. citizenship. 1952, Puerto Rico became like a sort of commonwealth, which I guess a lot of people miss because, like, we don't have a king, or we didn't have a king, or like whatever. But like, just like simple, that's the status. So if you are Puerto Rican, you are a U.S. citizen, okay? And that is also why when people were upset, they were like, why can't somebody from America do the halftime show? And look. Listen to me. The people screaming that are coming from a very specific place. They have watched the Super Bowl religiously, and the last few years have watched it get blacker. And I understand. After Kendrick, they were like, it's black now. Is it finally black enough? You blacked it. You did it. It's been blacked. All right? That's enough. It's been black, and I watched it. I didn't get it. But it was black, and you had it. Can we have one? Because I don't think you're gonna get blacker. So it's gotta be our turn again. And they thought, surely, their time was coming. You know? After Kendrick, next one gotta be, you know what I mean? Yeah. Next one gotta be the one that does that song with the twang to it that you really like. Gotta be. Come on, we even, look, you just did it. So I did all that rapping. I let rapping in my house just because it was a Super Bowl halftime show. That's as black as it's gonna get. I refuse to let it get any blacker, all right? These people were like, it can't possibly get blacker. And then they were like, all right, I'll raise you no English. Oh, you think you're mad now. Ooh, we gonna make you pray for Kendrick. We gonna make you. Ooh, Kendrick, please hit us with some symbolism. I don't even understand what's going on now. Oh, no, this is so funny. They're so mad. They're mad in a way that's like, I don't even know, like even if I wanted to help, I wouldn't even know where to start. Because what are you so mad about? It's like, because it's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl. It's not Spanish Bowl. It's Super Bowl. What's next? I love what's next, by the way. People love to take a thing that's actually happening and then do a hypothetical that'll never happen off of what's next. You see Bad Bunny's doing a Super Bowl halftime show. What's next? You gonna make Superman Mexican? That's what's next. That's definitely gonna happen. What's next? What's next? You know what I mean? What's that? Because it's scary. It's scary, you know? You watch the Super Bowl halftime show, these people might, by accident, learn some Spanish. Then what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what happens then? Because if I learn the Spanish, then when people are speaking Spanish, I'll know what they're saying, and there's no way they're saying anything nice about me. But no, people losing their minds. I can't believe it. Spanish? He's gonna speak Spanish? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody sing and rap in Spanish? I already had to listen to rap. You know what that was like for me? You know what that was like for me to hear rap in between the game I bet on? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there listening, watching the Super Bowl halftime show to Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there with my guacamole and my chips in my lap, listening to Spanish. I am gonna have to sit there while I eat the tacos that I Uber Eats to my place, listening to Spanish. The idea that I could have a deluxe crunch wrap and have to listen to Spanish is crazy. Not in my America. Spanish? Are you serious? I can't believe I'm gonna have to listen. I want all the Spanish in my mouth. I don't want it in my ears. Which has like pretty much been the approach of a large portion of the U.S. for a long time. So much of the culture, so much of what people like about a culture that they're willing to take in, they try to do as best as possible to the exclusion of the people that the culture's actually from, right? So you'll see how people of Latin descent have been treated in this country the entire time while we fall in love with more and more and more and more of their stuff. You know what I mean? And it's something that obviously happens to black people. It's something that's happened to Asian Americans and everything, but it's something that doesn't always get addressed is that if you loved what we make, then just love us. We made it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing to love almost every aspect of a culture and then meet the person who created that culture and be like, I don't know if I trust you though. I just kind of want all your stuff at my house. It's like, oh, I love that thing that you do. I'd probably just take it. What if I took it and then pretend it was mine? Wouldn't that be dope? What if I take it so hard that one day I tell you about it? No, I tell you about it and then I tell you you're doing it wrong because it's actually... No, what if you have your entire culture with a different understanding of everything, a different understanding of the world because it's from a different lens, and it's also from perspective of a people who have built a very rich heritage and everything. And what if one day I stop by and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll take some of that. And then when I say it back to you and you're like, that's actually not how you say it, I'm like, I think I know how to say it. All right, I'm very familiar with the Latin X culture, all right? Huh. Please, that's sweet of you to try to help me, but I'm well-versed. Oh. That's wild, because that was the laugh. All right. No, because you see, Bad Bunny moves in a way that's very intentional, and he has the loyalty of his fans and his people because of how he moves. Because there are plenty of people that truly, and I'm not saying this from a place of judgment, I'm saying it just from noticing. There are people who truly forget where they come from as soon as they get success. It is a very, sadly, once again, it's a very American mindset to have that as long as you get taken care of, as long as you're okay, you can leave whatever behind, and you're out now. And you're out, you made it out. And then you start to rationalize in your head, well, if I made it out, then people just have to do what I did to make it out. I'm not special. And they'll be able to take care of themselves. And then all of a sudden you're gone. And there's not a real building of community. There's no upward mobility for the people around you. You just up and went, right? And look, it's also a very hard thing to do to try to bring everybody with you. Plenty of people have gone bankrupt trying to do so. You see us like, and I've done it from time to time. I'm not innocent of this thing. So once again, I'm not judging. But you see us with entertainers and athletes, we'll judge them for like going broke quickly, and we always make the assumption it was because they made stupid decisions. Maybe they bought one chain, and then we're like, well, they were out here buying chains, and so now they're broke, and so. But more often than not, what happens, and what a lot of people don't talk about, what a lot of people don't give them credit for, is one of the reasons that they went broke is that this new money, it's a lot of money, but this new money tried to bring everyone with them at the same time. We're not able to set up systems for everybody to succeed. And so then everybody was broke in like 5 years' time. It's because of their heart that they were broke. It's because of their intention to try to bring everybody with them that they aren't in some mansion somewhere, Essentially, you had something like that happen to MC Hammer. There were a lot of people that hear how much money MC Hammer made and then how much he lost, and they thought to themselves, oh, he must have been balling out or something. He probably deserved to lose all that money. Then you hear interviews with MC Hammer. He talks about his business and everything. He talks about the people that he hired. This man hired family. He hired friends from the hood. Just try to give them jobs, either to keep them out of trouble or just get them some money because he knew that they would do the right things with their money. But he's one man. He's one man, and eventually you can't have all these people on the payroll. You can't have all this money going out when not enough is coming in, when not enough is coming back, and so eventually you do lose everything. So it's an admirable thing, and it's a smart thing to say, hey, if you want to see me, come spend your money here. Come to Puerto Rico. You can come do the shows. Anybody can come. We'll have a good time here. You see Bad Bunny thinking ahead. I'm not going to do shows in a place that has these like ICE raids and everything, because also in Chicago, there was an ICE raid of this apartment complex. And in the apartment complex, they grabbed everybody. They grabbed everybody in the worst way. They zip-tied kids. Some kids, scared, crying, terrified. Nobody knew what was happening. They entered the building with flashbangs and everything, all because they said that they were there for, I think, like 6 members of some gang. Trend Day Aragua. I'm trying to pronounce it the way the president pronounces it. Trend Day Aragua. They were there for them. And look, I don't even know if that's true, because apparently they didn't show anybody any warrants, you know? So maybe that's just something they said for later, after they went ahead and did the raid. But they zip-tied, they held black and brown people alike, you know? And that's the other thing. It's like pretending that somebody's fight is not your fight is only going to work for so long. Like, pretending something is not your problem will make it your problem very soon. Because already Supreme Court has pretty much ruled that ICE can profile so they can grab who they need to grab, right? And it's like, okay, well, what does an American look like to the people who are grabbing people? You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, I feel like I have some pretty good diction. But I could probably still get zip-tied. You know, if we're going off of looks, it won't really matter that I'm like, sir, please, I'm an American citizen. Because you see what's happening. You see what's happening now with ICE in Chicago. You see what's happening even with the announcement that Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl. You have, what is it, Corey Lewandowski saying that ICE is going to be at the Super Bowl as well. And it's like, all right, but what's the point of that? What's the point? Because you know all of the criminal illegal aliens, because that's what they're supposed to be about, right? You know all the criminal illegal aliens every year that score tickets to the Super Bowl. You know. You can't swing a stick without running into a criminal illegal alien with Super Bowl tickets. You know criminal illegal aliens love the Super Bowl. They love rolling up to the Super Bowl. Got my tickets right here. And no other form of identification. You know criminal illegal aliens. They can't stop going to the Super Bowl. In fact, every year I'm like, when are they gonna do something about these criminal illegal aliens enjoying the game while I'm sitting at home because the tickets are like $10,000 just to see? Can't stand criminal illegal aliens having all the money and using it on the Super Bowl. That's an irresponsible purchase. You're not even supposed to be here, Mr. Criminal Illegal Alien, and you going to the Super Bowl instead of hard-working Americans that can't afford to go to the Super Bowl. And we should know that, like, no one is coming to save us in that way. This is everybody's problem, and there's not enough of a travesty. There won't be enough rights that are violated. There won't be enough unconstitutional things happening that's just gonna make the people doing it go, whoops. That's not gonna happen. They're not just gonna stop. You know, they zip-tied kids. Kids who were born here. Because this was never about what they said it was about, you know? I look at ICE the way I look at, like, season 6 of Ghost Hunters. You're looking, but you're not gonna find what you're looking for because you made it up, you know? It's a very scary thing. Because don't get me wrong, look, plenty of ICE agents are over here masked up, top to bottom, can't identify who they are. It's not like they're wearing a badge. It's not like they have their name, you know, all over them or just on the front or anything like that. And some of them clearly built like stormtroopers. And then some are built like mall cops. Like there's a couple. I don't know if you saw that video of that young man that was running from ICE and hopped on his bike and rode away, but at a certain amount of running, you have to accept that you didn't catch the person. And as someone who had friends that got into trouble, I've watched my fair share of mall cop chases. And these mall cop chases, you know, I don't have them on my phone. They're from memory. They're up here. But they usually start a similar way. They usually start with, huh? What's that? What'd you say to me? And then, just far enough away, they say it again. And so then, mall cop leans forward, and then whether you're on your skateboard or you're on foot, you start making some moves. And as you run, they run. And when they run, they realize they shouldn't run. It's a battle. It's a battle for them to run. And you can tell because the kick, okay, I'm not a runner. I'm not an athlete in that way, but I'll tell you right now that like, okay. When you watch runners, when you watch like, you know, like a Usain Bolt, like an Olympic runner, and they start off and they have, you know, a foot up and everything, got the foot on, the hands down, looking up, and then I don't know why they put the butt up. You see they put the butt up and they're down, but then they're like, ugh. I know this isn't true. I knew this isn't true, but when I was little, a friend told me that they do that so that they can fart before they run. It's clearly not real. But he's like, no, you don't want that air getting out and it knocking you off course. It didn't sound true when I was 7, but I did believe it for like 2 years. Because I was like, they do it every time. I don't know. They, you know, get down, they get up, they do that thing. I'm not doing it right. They do that thing. And then they fire off the gun, and then they're like sliding at first, and then they just shoot off. They're running so fast, right? And when a mall cop starts to run, it's similar but different. Because he will do this, but that's because he almost fell. He got knocked off balance reaching for you. All right, so now he, and then he does like kick up a little bit. That is a fart. And then he starts to take off and chase you. The problem is, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens when you take up the badge of mall enforcer. I don't know what happens to your right foot. I don't know what happens to your left foot. But they stop speaking to one another. And in these mall cop chases, I've seen plenty of them kick off, up, into a food court table. And that's what it looked like, because my man kicked off on the bike and started, he wasn't even pedaling fast at first. Still seemed like he was talking. Do you know how embarrassing that is to run after somebody who isn't even breaking enough of a sweat to stop talking to you? And then they also ran after this man for too long. At a certain amount of somebody getting away, you gotta just let them get away. the clip became more embarrassing because they kept running. I'm like, now he on the bike. Now he pedaling. You didn't catch him when he was pushing a bike. You're not going to catch him when he's on a bike. There's a huge difference between those two things. Pushing a bike, he all encumbered. He got to figure out when to like throw the leg over and everything. Now he's on the bike. He's gone. He's gone. The only thing that could make that video more perfect is that dude, and he pedaled all the way to the Super Bowl halftime show. Anaheim, y'all been phenomenal. Thank you so much.